Hello. Now it's saying I've been on for an entire minute. Don't know what's up with that. And yeah, so now I'm back up on this one. I was up on TikTok. For some reason, it wouldn't. This uh, computer wouldn't let me do the live stream. The live stream on Streamyard for YouTube at the same time I was doing TikTok on my phone. I don't know what the problem is, but that's what I'm getting it, and I'm on now. But I was hoping to have a semi-intelligent conversation with some people. That depends on if they decide to chime up. But yeah, I let the people on TikTok know that I was going to be on YouTube because I can say what I want on YouTube, and I don't have to deal with people hitting the dislike or report button. Because if you report me, they have to find something offensive, and this channel is not made for children. My other channel, which is the Shroud Effect, that is for children. Um, so yeah, I say what I want on this one. I don't really have to care about what's going on. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I'm waiting for one of my previous guests to show up on his thing, so that way I can pop him up on here because we're going to have a fireside chat. We're going to talk about some kind of deep shit, and you might actually learn something. You might not like learning that thing, but you will get to learn about that said thing. Uh, we're going to be talking about Second Amendment, presidential hijinks, if you will. And I want to throw in a couple of splashes of water into a toilet with a turd in it. You'll understand it once you hear about it. But yeah, I'm hoping my subscribers will start tuning in and watching. Be nice, but not a requirement. If you like and want to share what's going on this channel, you know what to do. Like, share, subscribe, do all the things. I'm not telling you to. I'm not asking you to. If you want. Unlike a lot of other content creators, they're telling you to do that. I'm saying if you want, go ahead. If you don't, hey, I'm all cool. I've been doing this for years. I don't get paid to do this. I do this because I want to. Oh, let's see what's going on here. If I'm getting any response. I know I have one viewer, and I'm going to guess that's Bob. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm checking my stuff to make sure I can go on. Yeah, the Patriot Podcast. Okay. Oh, I got another one. Somebody else is viewing. Hello. I don't know who you are, but hello. Sorry, I had to move that tray. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm trying to read stuff. God, I'm like severely out of whack with this stuff right now. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to get this shit together. Give me a moment to get my proverbial crap together. La, 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 la. It's been so long since I've done this that it seems kind of weird. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get this stuff together so I can make a presentation. Trying to remember how to do this sharing thing. There. Well, see, he invited himself to the thing.
Hey, what's up?
Get your wife to tone it down. Indoor voice. Jesus.
Yeah, she does have that octave of annoying.
No, that octave is fucks toward stupid. I don't need to be deafened by her not knowing what an indoor voice is. I mean, God, did she whisper in normal speak like this or something?
No.
So how does she whisper then? Because when she whispers on your phone, I can hear it when I ring you up. But anyway, yeah.
So, what did you think about the Supreme Court basically telling Trump to fuck off about the illegal deportations under the Alien Enemies Act?
If they didn't find it that way, then I think they were fitting to get some severe blowback from the American public, because what he's doing is illegal and unconstitutional. And for all them MAGA heads who were like, well, we need to get him. Okay, we can throw your ass out of the country without letting you have a. No, I'm an American citizen. If you're in the United States, you get due process. It doesn't matter if you belong here. If you are in the country, you get due process.
Now, Stephen Miller, yeah, I know. Stephen Miller is saying that they're looking at ways to suspend habeas corpus,
which is unconstitutional.
Yes. And that Trump was whining on Truth Social about it's going to take years to get these illegal aliens out of the United States with due process. I don't understand why we need due process.
Well, due process is there for a reason. Due process is one of the reasons he hasn't been locked up yet. Because if you take away due process, then we can go after him and throw him in jail for multiple crimes.
Oh, dude, I was laughing my ass off yesterday. Kristi Noem was on Capitol Hill most of the day because she had to appear in front of the Homeland Security Committee. She was getting her ass handed to her like every 5 minutes by Democrats on the committee, telling her she needs to resign and what she's doing is unconstitutional. She has no idea what her job entails. Stop trying to play the oligarch in the DHS, and she's not fit for service. And And dude, she like sit there and looked like she was about ready to fucking cry.
Well, that does sometimes happen. But yeah, I was listening. I was over at not Golden Corral. I was over at a New China Buffet, and I had these well-to-do men sitting like about 7 foot away, and they are both debating. Mind you, they've been done eating for 20 or 30 minutes, it looks like, but they're debating the Second Amendment. And they had this conversation the entire time we were there. They left like a minute before we did.
Wow.
Are you going to turn your screen on, or is that embarrassed to show your ugly mug? Oh, wow. My camera's going to break. What the hell?
Yeah, fuck you too.
I'm not gay, but thank you for the offer. It's nice to know you swing that way. But yeah, these guys were having a nice debate about it and disagreeing with each other all the way. But they were going over these minor points that would have mattered 200 years ago. Like talking about how the Second Amendment allowed them to form militia to face existential threats from inside the country. Is like, your problem there is that we don't get ground invasions here in America anymore.
Yeah, just like with the Alien Enemies Act. Yeah, Trump's trying to use the Alien Enemies Act as by declaring an invasion at the southern border, but Stephen Miller already done fucking said that it was the border was sealed, so why do we need it? And ain't no one stupid enough to try to invade us again.
Well, the Alien Enemies Act only works during an active invasion. An active invasion, not an act of invasion.
Yeah.
Now, the bitch of it is we haven't been actively invaded in shit. No person in living memory, or no person in who's alive today can remember the last time we were fighting a force in our country's length.
Yeah.
With another country.
We go over there. They don't come over here. I think the last time was during World War II. A couple of U-boats landed on one of our shores.
They didn't get very far. They were both. They were summarily sequestered and taken care of. The last time we had foreign troops on our soil,
the British back during the revolution. The British back during the American Revolution.
No, we've had it sooner than that. Not much sooner, but like the Spanish-American War. But the bitch of it is these guys are arguing they just started arguing history and Continental Congress and all this other shit. And it's like they started arguing what constitutes a militia, and one of them kept on saying, well, we're allowed to form militias. It's like, no, you're not allowed to form a militia just on your own, because you don't. A well-armed militia, a well-regulated militia means joining the armed forces. That's what the National Guard is, a well-regulated militia. Anything else is just an unorganized militia full of gun-toting people that don't answer to anybody, who say they answer to somebody when they really don't.
Yeah, gun-toting idiots.
Yeah. I'm not saying guns are a bad thing, but the people who are like, well, we have the right to arm ourselves against the tyrannical government. What's tyrannical about the American government? Every time they screamed during the Obama years, they're going to come take your guns. Did one fucking gun get taken illegally?
Nope.
How many guns were acquired illegally by citizens, though?
Quite a few.
Exactly my point.
Now, okay, I want to get your thoughts on those three Harvard historians that that studied oligarchy and stuff throughout the years, and they decided to flee the United States. And one of them stated, "I've seen the signs before. I'm getting the hell out of here."
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on what you think the reason was they fled the United States.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Where'd you hear that at?
It was on Face the Nation. They were talking about it. Three Harvard historians who have studied the American history for like the last 20 or 30 years. One of the ones that fled had studied totalitarianism, authoritarianism, and dictatorship. And she said the reason why she was fleeing is she's seeing signs now that was precursor to Nazi Germany. So she fled the United States.
Almost all of this Trump wave is nothing but neo-Nazism just reborn.
A pundit called it the rise of the Fourth Reich.
Yeah. I've already heard it called that.
And Mary Trump is calling this a regime, not an administration.
Well, it kind of is.
Yeah.
The joy of all this is we can redo shit if we want to, but Trump's been a crybaby because, like, this last week he wanted to change the policies of the country of Mattel.
Oh wow!
And then he wanted to speak to he wanted to speak to Leader Mattel of his country.
The fuck?
Having said that, he doesn't know what Mattel is. It's a company. He
a
thinks
toy
it's a
company.
country.
What I think is funny, you've got people like Ted Cruz and Lindsey Graham and Senator Kennedy. They're all, and Chuck Grassley. They're all saying the same thing, that this luxury liner that was gifted to him by Saudi Arabia, or I should say by Qatar, he should automatically return it because that goes against a clause in the Constitution about receiving gifts from foreign nations.
It does. It's unconstitutional. Like, Trump gives a shit.
Yeah, Trump's already done stated in an interview on Fox News that he doesn't know whether or not he should lead this country with the Constitution.
He can't get rid of the Constitution in the first place.
Forgot. the director of the OMB, who was the chief architect of Project 2025, sent a memo to Senate Republicans that we need to get used to living in a post-constitutional America.
No, he can't destroy the Constitution. I think he's watching
what?
news.
Huh? I watched NBC and I watched CBS and I watched MSNBC. I've only seen like a clip on Fox News from MSNBC. I'm trying not to watch the right-wing fucking news anymore because they're just too.
You know more about. You're talking about stories that haven't even made my thing, and you're like, "Oh, this was on this." Where are you getting these stories, then, dude?
I did watch a Senate hearing discussion about that fucking jet, and Ted Cruz even stood up in the middle of the Senate floor and said he needs to return it. It's unconstitutional. He said, I know he's not going to listen to a fucking thing I say. He didn't say fucking no. But he said this when Dems were in control of this House, he said that's an impeachable offense.
As if Trump gave a shit.
Oh, he's already testing to see if he can arrest politicians.
Yeah, you know where that comes from, right?
Project 2025.
And you know where Project 2025 gets most of its playbook from, right?
The Nazi playbook.
Yep. Call everybody fake news except those which glorify you. Call everybody else fake news. And, you know, it's funny because we were hammered about World War II, but were the baby boomers hammered about any damn thing?
No.
Because it's
not at all.
World War II and how Nazis came to power. They came to power exactly how the hell Trump did. It's a cult of personality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cult
and a rigged election too.
Yeah. But there are people who still don't believe the election was rigged. They're allowed to think that if they want. But when the system is rigged by a computer system and satellite system that is owned by a backer of one of the candidates, how the fuck is that not screaming rig the system?
Yeah.
I mean, I've already pointed out it shouldn't have swung towards Trump, but I'm also waiting for the release on Tuesday of Original Sin. You're probably asking yourself,
Original Sin? Yeah.
A book coming out about the Biden presidency and how they tried to hide his faults and conditions from the people, and they allowed him to even try to run a second time.
I can't remember what his name is. Chuck Schumer has now blocked, or is blocking, all political appointees for the DOJ.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember why he's doing it, but I know he has come out and said, he did a press conference that he would, it's about the big beautiful bill that even the Republicans in the House tanked because they felt that the cuts to Medicaid wasn't extreme enough.
And they were the same assholes who 2 months ago said they weren't going to touch Medicaid.
Yeah, it's all for the tax breaks for the billionaire class.
You can't get billionaires tax breaks if there's not billions in the bank. And we should be taxing the fuck out of billionaires, not letting them run. Well, we want tax breaks for what? You own 9/10 of the world's fucking wealth. The fuck do you need a tax break for? We want to stay rich. You have more money than any one person can spend in their lifetime. What the fuck are you worried about losing that much money for?
Yeah, this is all part of extending the Trump 2017 tax breaks. So what they want to do is gut pretty much everything where most of their constituents live and thrive on to give the billionaire class tax breaks, and 76% of Americans don't want Medicaid touched. And Mike Johnson said in a recent interview that he don't give a damn what his constituents think.
Okay. He's a
Lauren Boebert stood in a town hall meeting, which now a former police chief is running for her seat in the midterms. Lauren Boebert stood in one of her own town halls, says, "I don't care if you're fed. I don't care if you're housed. That's not my problem."
Okay, I don't know why you're bringing any of that up. I mean, we already know they don't give a shit. Just like one of the places I go to, one of the other properties I go to for work.
Yeah.
I can go into literally any apartment in that, and I can go into any unit in that place, and almost all of them are retirees. And they all, guess what they all watch?
Fox News.
Yeah. So I had to hear an interview about Kid Rock being interviewed by some jackass on Fox News about how cool the president was. He's gonna redo America. No, he's trying to destroy America to make himself great.
And I was watching Rachel Maddow last night, and Trump's wanting to cut research for medicines and cancer research, and there's this one.
Where the hell have you been?
Well, there's this one gentleman on there says, "I don't understand why he would want this research cut, because the medication that he's on, which helps preventing him from having a heart attack, it would basically end his medication."
I didn't say these people were intelligent, but they've already started cutting funds for medical research. So yeah, you're not telling me anything. I mean, where have you been the past month? They cut that back. They started cutting that back in the beginning of April, man. There are so many programs now that are underfunded or don't have funding, period. Just like there is, I think, $2 trillion worth of funds that were supposed to be allocated to farming experiments, large-scale farming experiments, to see if things would work. Those are now canceled because we can't afford to do research on that. That's because you need to give all that money to Musk and Bezos and Zuckerberg.
That's still not even one human normal.
Yeah, he's freaking bleeding us dry. That's all he's doing.
What I want to know is, what is everybody's bitching and moaning about? Well, we can't do anything. We're powerless. Actually, you are. I think that if we don't have a viable candidate come this next election cycle, and I mean the presidential election cycle, if we don't have a viable candidate by then, I want everybody to write in there the Big McChicken.
The Big McChicken?
Yeah, the Big McChicken. That's it. Don't put anybody's name, just the Big McChicken. Hey, if Trump can be in the White House, why not a fucking sandwich?
How about McDouble?
McDouble doesn't have the Big McDouble. That doesn't have the same ring to it. The Big McChicken is so absurd that it works. Like go in your mind over any food you want. The Big McChicken just works. Like I tried the Big McFlurry. It doesn't work. The Big.
How about double Whopper?
It doesn't work. The Big McChicken. It has that zing to it. You know. I told that to a couple when I was helping them review their stuff, and they broke out laughing so hard. It's like, are you actually? Yeah. If we don't have a viable candidate, I will write in the Big McChicken. And then when anybody asks me who the Big McChicken is, a dumb sandwich. A dumb sandwich has got to be more capable of making.
Oh.
What now?
I wanted to ask your opinion. I wanted to ask you your opinion that the DHS, Kristi Noem, has stripped the protective status of the Afghans who are over here that helped us in the Afghan war for like the last 20 years. She has stripped their protective status and has now set Tom Homan and ICE on them because they are not American citizens. They don't belong here.
I will counter that with a question of my own.
Okay.
We have actively started putting visas for these white Southern Africans.
Yep.
And back when all these people were young, it was an apartheid state. So we're helping the people who were promoting apartheid, but we're setting back people who actually did something for democracy and our way of life. How does that equal out at all?
The only thing I can think of is the reason why they're helping these South Africans is because they're white.
These are fascist white Africans.
Yes, I know, and that's the only reason why they're helping them is because they're white.
That still doesn't explain why.
Okay, here we go, guys. We're collecting seashells for this.
You got a bunch of fascist assholes in the White House who are also racist and who would jump at
their visas are getting fast-tracked, whereas people who actually helped us are being thrown out of the country. Make that make sense. You make that make sense.
I know. Make that make sense. Yeah, they want to help these. Yeah, they want to help these white Africans because they're white, because they're fascist assholes like the people in the regime, and they're racist assholes too. Kristi Noem even made the statement on Capitol Hill yesterday. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're brown or black. If you don't have a legal right to be here, you won't be here.
You listen to an awful lot of Kristi Noem. Like a disturbing amount of Kristi Noem. How is that?
I was watching her committee hearing yesterday, laughing my ass off when she was getting destroyed.
Yeah, well, apparently Marjorie Taylor Greene is dealing with the same thing. She's dishing out oodles and oodles of stupid, but not getting anywhere.
I know. Yeah, Lauren Boebert got laughed out of a committee hearing, which I laughed my ass off on that.
Did you notice when Trump, when the British Prime Minister handed a letter from King Charles to Trump? Did you see that?
What happened?
You can watch hours of Christy Nome, but you can't watch something that's actually intelligent. Wow. You got to break off from watching Christy Nome. What, you think she's gonna? You think she's gonna treat you like she's a stripper and give you a pole dance? For a guy. But yeah, where was I?
King Charles sent a letter to Trump.
King Charles wrote a letter to Trump. I saw this before it went live or anything, but the Prime Minister handed the sealed letter to Trump. Trump opened it up, and he's staring at it. You can tell he's not reading it. His eyes aren't. He's just kind of like, oh, look, he signed the top and he's signing the letter at the bottom of the page. He goes off the bottom of the page and asks the Prime Minister to read him the letter. What does that tell you?
Means he can't fucking read.
Yeah, and somehow he's a billionaire? No. But yeah, that's what I find funny about the Trump cult is their unwillingness to. It's like they're deadlocked. Their brain is stuck in stupid gear. Well, we should defend ourselves. They can come in and take your guns anytime they want. No, they can't. They'll have to pry it out of my car. All they got to do is put a drone with a bomb in it, fly it into your place without you noticing, or drop it down your chimney. Boom! Your house goes, so your guns.
Yeah, just like can't remember which fucking senator it was. They had an all-out freaking battle with RFK Jr. and RFK Jr. said, talk in his raspy voice. Basically, they were asking him about the measles vaccine because of the measles epidemic that they're having in the Southwest. And RFK Jr. says, "I'm not gonna have my agency peddle vaccines that aren't safe."
Dude, where you been for 2 months?
I know, he's a fucking idiot.
No, I mean, where have you been for 2 months?
Enjoying my time away from YouTube.
And apparently the TV, except for watching Christy Nome, who you hope is apparently a stripper. Because, for a guy who's been off the line for 2 months, you sure see a lot of Christy fucking Nome.
And not just Christy Nome, dude.
RFK Jr. had to backpedal and rescind his comment about the measles vaccine. He did that.
He was just in front of. He was just in front of the Senate 2 days ago. I know that, but he was
watching pre-recorded crap. What the hell's wrong with you?
Okay.
And if you're watching C-SPAN, Fox News, CNN, or MSNBC, I guarantee you're watching the wrong shit. Like, how do you watch so much junk news and then tell me this and this is coming? And I look them up and there's no evidence that it even exists because it only exists in that news entertainment category where nothing is real. Like, Fox News isn't real news.
I know, it's entertainment.
Yeah. Basically, the point of C-SPAN is to cover congressional hearings. That's it. So
C-SPAN 1 does this. C-SPAN 1 does the Senate, and C-SPAN 2 does the House. But you were talking about earlier about viable candidates for 2028.
Yep.
I want to toss up two names to you, and I want you to think if they're viable.
Okay.
Gretchen Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, and Gavin Newsom.
Not a fan of either one of them at the moment.
What about Pete Buttigieg?
Dude, I've already said if he's on the docket, I'm probably going to vote for him. You'd have to have an outlandishly ungodly in tune person to beat Pete Buttigieg. But
Josh Shapiro.
Her name. What was the lady's name you just said?
Gretchen Whitmer.
Gretchen Whitmer doesn't blip on my radar as a leader. She seems like somebody who has to be pushed, and then she might push back.
What about Josh Shapiro?
I'm not buying that dude's affability. But Gavin Newsom doesn't have my vote right now because of one simple reason. Did you freeze up?
No, I didn't freeze up. I think you froze up.
No, you froze up.
What about Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania?
You blipped out.
What about Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania?
No, I'm saying the first time I answered that, you must have blipped it. Your computer must have froze the hell up. Because I answered that. I said that I don't buy his affability right now. And with Gavin Newsom, he's what? Governor of California or some weird thing?
Yes.
I can't back him right now for one simple thing. One simple reason.
Is he too progressive?
No. There's nothing to do with his political stance on shit. It's his efficacy in his position. I.e., in reference to the homeless and drug epidemic going down in Los Angeles.
And don't forget about during the pandemic, he made everyone wear a mask while they were eating, except for him, in that really chic diner called French Laundry.
I don't give a fuck. I don't care about that. What I care about is the epidemic of homelessness and drug use and lack of mental health resources to help the homeless in California.
Yeah.
And I've already offered a solution to it on my pre-recorded podcast on YouTube. I've already given that solution away. And everybody's still ignoring it.
Now, well, do you think the mayor here in Wichita, do you think she's doing a good job about the homeless?
She is starting things in a radical new. She's starting to do things in a radical new way, and I think as long as you hard kick the shit out of people, because like they interviewed this one homeless guy who didn't want to be on camera, but he grew up north, so he's used to the cold. He doesn't like people. He's got PTSD supposedly from combat, and he prefers sleeping on the streets. You there? Apparently not. But anyway,
I'm here.
With people who refuse to give up being homeless because they've got PTSD, they can't stand large crowds of people. They can't do this. They can't do that. They're trying to get you to back the fuck off, and they don't need that. Now, I can't count how many people I've heard who said they were in the military and now they can't do big crowds because of PTSD. So you never came back. Well, I don't do big crowds because drop the military crap. You're not in the military anymore. You are homeless. You are always drinking. You're sleeping on the streets. You have a mental problem you need to fix, and you need to allow somebody to help you fix it. If you don't, fucking go somewhere out in the country and stay the night there. Like,
Yeah,
refuse to accept help from anybody. Well, I was taught not to accept. No, you don't want anybody getting close to you because you've been fucked in the head so many times.
yeah. Just like we were,
Buttons.
I was gonna say, just like we were driving down Topeka yesterday, and we were passing Second and Topeka,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, on one side you had like a gaggle of homeless, like the entire street was trashed. You had street trash on the sidewalks, in the gutters, and we're talking for about a block and a half, nothing but trash and homeless on one side, and the same thing on the other side. And
Mentally unstable, homeless people. All because Brownback emptied out Good Shepherd and said, fuck you, you can go live on the streets.
yeah, and yeah, they had. I called it the shopping cart brigade because about four of them had shopping carts overflowing with fucking shit.
Yeah, stuff that they think they need.
Yeah.
And they're the police, God bless them, some of the police are trying to get through, but some of these people are like, no, I don't want to be around people. Then why are you homeless? Because they don't want to go get a. They don't want anybody knowing anything about them. They don't want anybody tracking them. It's like, well, tough shit. You got VA benefits, yeah. Then how do you collect those? None of your fucking business. Then honestly, if you don't want anybody tracking you, why the fuck are you here? Go move to Alaska. Go where nobody gives that you're there.
Yeah, just like what was it? The jump strip there on Murdoch and Broadway, where the old Quick Trip was. Yeah, I was walking. I was putting gas in my car yesterday, and I was walking up, and there was these two black dudes sitting there. One of them looked over me. Hey man, you got some spare change? And I just kind of looked at him. No, get a fucking job. And I fucking walked in. And as I'm walking in, I can hear these two dudes, the two black dudes saying, "We don't want a job. This is our job."
Yeah, and due to how fucked the law got under what's the last mayor's name?
Whipple.
Yeah, Whipple.
Brandon Whipple.
You'd think I'd know that with him being a member of the scout troop that my daughter goes to, or was going to. But yeah, his lack of effort meant that panhandlers don't get arrested. It's people giving them money that can be arrested. It's like, what kind of fucking sense does that make?
Yeah. I mean, like,
the wife yelling in the background or something?
She's getting Caitlin out of the bathtub.
If you can hear that from where you're sitting and the mic can pick it up, yeah, she needs to use her indoor voice.
But like there's this one dude that stands over there on East Kellogg by Kellogg and Armour, and he's there from like freaking 4:00 in the afternoon to like fucking 10:00 at night, I guess. Because every time I drive by there, I see him holding a sign that says that says any little bit will help homeless veteran.
You know how many fucking people panhandle now just because they can?
Yeah.
Because it's not illegal to panhandle, but it's illegal for us to give them money. It's like, who in the fuck invented that statute?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Arrest the panhandlers. The people in the cars are being goaded out of their own money.
Yeah.
If you're that fucking lazy that you need to panhandle because you don't want a job, then go somewhere else.
Yeah, because I was like 4 cars back from this dude, and the 3 cars in front of me, he was walking 1 window, 2 windows, 3 windows. He got to mine. I looked at him. I'm like, "Fuck you," and he turned around and walked off.
Yeah, here a while back, I think it was like a year or 2 ago, I got stopped by a light, and this panhandler walked up. You got any extra spare change, man? I straight up looked at him as like, no, I have a job, man. You need to get one too. Hey, man, fuck you. I do this all day long. You sit and beg for money. I go out and earn money. And I have a house, I have a family, I have a vehicle. You have none of these things. Or are you one of them people that makes a couple $100 a day and walks to a really nice car and then drives off knowing you've suckered everybody who was a bleeding heart for your cause?
Yeah, I mean, I can.
He immediately ran to the car behind me because they were about to hand him money. I'm like, why don't the police come and fucking actively check these stuff?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. Over here on Broadway, the Popeyes that was on Broadway closed down because of the homeless. The McDonald's closed down because of the homeless.
Popeyes?
Yeah, there was a Popeyes right across from the Burger King. They're on by 9th and Broadway.
I'm trying to think of where the fuck you're talking about. Because like there was a Burger King over in that area years ago.
There still is. There's a Burger King, and then there was a McDonald's next door to the Burger King. And then across the street from the Burger King, a Popeye's Chicken had moved in. And it was there maybe 7 months, and it closed down. And I was talking to the manager at Burger King a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him why the Popeyes had closed down. And the manager at Burger King said the same reason why the McDonald's closed down was they were getting overrun by homeless.
Yeah, the mentally unfit.
Yeah, because the motel that's right next to the Burger King is where all the homeless are renting rooms and staying. I think it was the Super 8 motel that's next door to the Burger King.
I have no idea. I don't go down that area very often, so I don't know. Hell, I'm lucky if I get to Murdoch. I get down to Murdoch, I'm changing one way or the other because I don't like going down in Shantytown.
Yeah.
But then again, first and Topeka or second Topeka is. I'm wondering why police don't try to get them to move. And second of all, why the hell don't we have a funny farm?
I don't know, but apparently second and Topeka.
Some of these psychotic motherfuckers need to be heavily sedated, thrown in there, and then if you want to let their medicine wear off after that, go ahead. But these are not people who are fit to be in society in the first damn place because they're psychotic.
Yeah, well, second and Topeka is where the drop-in center is at. It's called Open Door. It's at second and Topeka.
Yeah, there are people that hang out there 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean,
just like the Shirkmere was closed down.
Did you notice they boarded up the Commodore?
Yeah.
That's like 9 stories.
Been like that. Yeah.
Now you know why it got shut down.
Why?
Because they were going to start renovating the hotel and putting normal pipes like PVC or copper in there, and found out how much it was going to cost.
Wow.
They were estimating it to be like $2 million. They had several contractors come out. The lowest price they got was $15 million to redo all the plumbing.
Wow.
Well, you got to figure every room, plus the facilities, plus whatever.
Yeah.
The Commodore was built in the 1920s. It wasn't made to last as long as it's been around.
No.
Like it so outlived its usefulness that like even when we met, it was already decrepit and falling apart, and it was filled with people who were on disability because we need low cost help. No, what you need to do is get over yourself and get a job.
Yeah.
And yes, I think if you're able to sit there and stare at your phone all day or sit on your butt all day watching TV, well, it's because my back hurts. Well, guess what? My back hurts too. My foot hurts every single day. Yet I'm moving and flexing around,
Yep.
But unfortunately, it's running down to what?
Almost an hour. You got 55. We're at 55 minutes.
Yeah, I'm at 56 minutes, and according to my timer, it's 56 minutes. But for some reason, when I started, it starts reading at a minute when it starts. I don't know why. But yeah, I also got some other crap to get watched. I'm trying to work on playing Sonic 2 a little harder. Because yes, I have
Did you hear that they came? Did you hear they came out with a new game system in Nintendo Switch 2, and it's running about $800.
Do I look surprised?
No.
What do you suppose that is?
Because they come out with one every couple of years.
No. I'm not surprised because I actually watch news worth watching and glean what I need from it and move on. You might try it sometime. But anyway, I'm going to get off here because I want to play my game. I figured I'd watch an episode of something with the wife and then just chill for the rest of the evening. Plus, I'd like to drink a beer, so have fun, and
drink a beer.
I'll try to let everybody know when the next podcast, when the next live cast, or if I decide to record a podcast that I can throw it up here on YouTube, I'll try to let everybody know. So have fun.
Okay. Hey, as soon as your cologne gets here, I'll swing it by to you. Okay.
Okay. Well, you might want to make sure I'm home before you drop it off.
Okay.
All right. Have fun.
All right.
And for those of you at home still watching, I am seriously going to get off here so I can go do other things. I'm going to write a note card with some bullet points in case I end up, in case I invite him again. That way I can stay on the points that I want to make. Should have done that this time, but it's been a while since I've done an episode or a live stream. So you guys have fun. Peace out. This is the Sceptical Scotsman. If you enjoy this material, you know what to do. Do all the things. Have fun. Peace out. And yeah, learn something.